Hello there, friends. It's Tammy with Tammy Scrap Tammy with our weekly Facebook Live. I just thought I'd get on right away because it was just like 11:01. I didn't want you to think I wasn't coming, but I do need to grab some coffee and I'll be right with you. All right, how is everybody today? I cannot believe it's been a week since our last Facebook Live. I'd like to say so much has happened, but I can't even think about all the things that have happened since then. There's been so many things. And so I'm excited to share with you again a little bit more of the Eden's Garden today. Last week we did the most simple stamping, successful card. Today I'm going to step it up just a little bit. I will talk as we go a little bit about a class that I'm going to offer. Of course, as I got creative with it, I decided that I should do a class to go with the Eden's Garden Suite. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that. Information on that will get emailed out tomorrow morning. So let's see, today, if you're watching live or watching the replay, this is taking place on November 10th. I'm looking at my calendar just past me. And registration will be open until, I can't remember, a couple weeks. So there'll be a couple weeks. It will go out tomorrow morning, and then it will go out again in like Tuesday's email, our Tutorial Tuesday email. So if you happen to be watching this on the replay and it's over the weekend or a couple days later, don't worry, you can still get in on it. But yeah, so Eden's Garden class is what we're going to talk about today. And of course, I'm going to make you a beautiful card too. So I hope that you enjoy today's video. We'll get down to the work surface and enjoy some stamping time together. All right, here we go. I did have to switch my lighting a little bit because my light broke. The light that I use every day or every week broke. So I have got to do some changing around. So good morning, Cheryl. So Cheryl, happy Onstage Week. I would imagine you're taking part. I have got my Onstage grid paper. So if you are a demonstrator or, you know, you've joined Stampin' Up! And getting this great discount and things, you know that this week is our Onstage. So most of us, we would be planning right now, either maybe even on our way to Utah for our yearly convention, but we're not. We're doing it virtually. So we've got this beautiful grid paper. I'm getting ready to go to a retreat with my team and some fellow demonstrators for the weekend, and we're going to watch it virtually together. Yeah, so it's going to be really great. But I thought I'd bring out my grid paper for the occasion. All right, so Prize Patrol. Guess what? Last week's Prize Patrol winner is Kathleen Zuckerman. And guess what, everybody? We've got Prize Patrol again. It's going to be another one of these. I've got a few of these on hand. So Seasons of Fun is what we are giving away for Prize Patrol. So be sure, participate in the video, whether you're watching live, replay, YouTube, Facebook, wherever you're catching it. Like the video, give me a comment. Of course, a follow and a like on my page or channel is very much appreciated. And I didn't log in on my computer. I'm going to do that real quick here. Hope we're in the right place and all the things are working how they should work. But enjoy the view while I am getting ready. So you'll get a little glimpse of what I'm going to be sharing with you today. And I should make sure my volume is off over here. So many things to get ready. It changes every time. Okay, we are live. Everybody's saying hello. So good morning. All right, so Susan said she's going to be in Minneapolis for Thanksgiving. Hopefully you have beautiful weather. I know we're possible a little bit of flurries action going on here in the next day or so, but it's beautiful right now. All right, so I'm going to get this centered a little bit better. Like I said, I had to switch my lighting around, which kind of ended up moving everything around, but it looks like the lighting's not too bad. All right, so again, Prize Patrol, another Seasons of Fun. We've got Kathleen Zuckerman. Send me a message so I can get your address, and I will get this mailed off to you in the next few days. Okay, so what are we doing today? Let's show what we did last week first. All right, so this was our very successful simple stamping card from last week. Just beautiful, easy to create cards. This shows off the designer series paper, which is good because I don't have another, I don't have it in little samplers just yet. But I might not because it is a limited time only paper. So this is the Eden's Garden paper. There's actually a different name for it Of course, I don't know it off the top of my head. All right, but let me show you a couple cards I made. So last week, along with the simple stamping card, I did make one where I made my own designer series paper. So of course you can scroll back and take a look at that if you would like, but very beautiful. And then I decided, simple stamping, I love it as much as I love it. I did think I should step it up a little bit for you all today. And so this morning I got up and was having my coffee and created these cards. I did this all before taking the kids to school while they were getting ready. Needless to say, I had to get ready after I got home from taking them to school because I was darn near still in my pajamas when I drove them to school this morning. I'm just kidding. I put actual clothes on, but I think I brushed my teeth, but I had not even washed my face because I just got down here, made some coffee, and I just said, oh my goodness, the inspiration just came. So I'm not making this one today, but this was one that I made using some of the dies from the Eden's Garden. And then this is the card I'm going to make for you today. Isn't this beautiful? So these two cards, actually these three cards, are going to be included in the class that I'm going to be talking about, that I'll be sending the email out later today, or no, tomorrow morning. That's what I said, tomorrow morning. So November 11th, the class sign up for this will go out. Then it will be in the Tutorial Tuesday email for the next couple of weeks while it's still available, but limited time because this paper is on a limited time only too. So if this paper sells out, I would end the registration for the class as well. All right, and so what are the products in the Eden's Garden collection? So the class is going to have three options. First option will just be the basic card kit, half a package of designer series paper, and a full package of embellishments. The second option is everything, the whole darn collection. So all the designer series paper, a full package of designer series, full package of this, the cotton paper, the stamp set, the dies, the whole thing. And then there is a third option too with the cut supplies for the class and the suite. So let's get to it though. So Eden's Garden stamps that I'm using today, I'm bringing in the die cuts today. Look at this one. I have to point this out. So isn't this pretty? It makes the easiest border to use. It's so pretty. So that's what I did there. I took this wreath and cut it apart and put it on here. I actually used the in color specialty paper for that because I wanted it a little bit thicker and then it's shiny. It's really pretty. And what else are we using today? I did bring in one more thing, my absolute favorite, because just because Halloween is over does not mean that I'm not gonna keep using this die cut. This is my absolute favorite die cut and I pulled it in for here. And so I'm going to just get started. All right, and so I've got Evening Evergreen, Simply Succulent, Basic White for my papers. I've already cut out some of the elements that I need to use today. I've got my Garden Green, just cut at a basic standard size, 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4, and then use your bone fold to crease it down. And then I did use my Tasteful Touches. I believe that's what, Tasteful Textiles. I always want to say touches, but it's within that suite. So the Tasteful Textiles embossing folder, just to get a little bit of texture onto my paper. And then after when I was playing around with this, I decided that I should do some stamping on there. So I'm going to use my Simply Succulent ink pad and just a couple of the greenery stamps from the stamp set. Maybe not a bad idea just to let you see that. Now I'm going to put some paper over the top of this. So this is just for the background. It's really up to you. I've had success both ways. If you want to stamp first and then run it through your embossing folder, I did it the other way for my sample where I stamped first, did the embossing folder. But for the sake of time and bringing machinery into view, I decided to emboss first this time around instead of the other. So it's working just fine. So nice tap. And I'm just kind of making a circle, I guess, because it's going to be covered. So it's not so important where everything is, depending on how much you like to stamp. I probably did a little bit extra on that one than what I did on my first original sample. So I'm done with my succulent ink pad. And now really we're going to start building the card. I'm going to move this out of the way. I'll let you continue the nice view of these cards. And then I'm going to bring in some strips. So when you're making cards and creating projects, you end up with lots of extra little doodads. And so what I thought would be great on this card is to show off the back side of these papers. So I call it the back because it's the more subtle side. You know, when you're looking at papers, you know, like you would probably consider this the front, the one with the beautiful foils and things like that. But the flip sides of these had some great textures as well. So that's what I wanted to bring in for the front of this card. And then I've did my favorite little label there. And let's just put them on. I've done this layout too before. This is not a new layout. So if you look back on my photos and, you know, like my Pinterest boards and things, you'll see this layout a couple different times. And it's just like a whole new card each time I do it though. Like a whole new, like, revelation. And last one. And so this is a 3.5. I think this one's too long. I have to snip this one down again. Hold on. I was debating when I cut these originally what size. So I started with a 3 3/4, but okay, so this is just a 3/4 of an inch this way by 3.5. And there you go. So just 3 simple strips is all you need. And then I'm going to just put this on here because nothing else is going to go on here as far as nothing needs to be on the back side. So before we put like the dimensionals and things like that, I'll adhere this down. Okay, so that's the base, that's the start. So now we're just going to add a little more extra decoration in our sentiment, and then it's going to finish off our card. So I have cut out this die cut. And when I did that, I was, you know, playing around with it. It's just too long for that, but I really wanted to use it. I really liked it. And so what I did, oh boy, I only have a ribbon scissors. How does this happen like every week? Okay, I had one behind me. So I'm just gonna snip this in half. And I'm just gonna use it a little bit differently. And so I decided it looked pretty good like so. Okay, so all we have to do now, let's just put a bunch of adhesive on the back of here. I'll hold it up and then I'll position it where I want it to go. And then I'll do the same on the other side. Kind of offset it a little bit. So we're using the dies kind of in a different way than what you'd think. So when you look at them, you might see that long piece and that's it. So I'm hoping this will show you another way to use that. So getting a little extra mileage out of one die cut. Same with this. This is this die from the, goodness, I don't even know if in my headline I put what dies those were. Cutest Halloween, I think is what they were called for this label. Okay, so next what we need to do is we need to do, you know, my little signature doodad twirl around thing in the background. So we're going to get a glue dot. We need to have a glue dot here. And they should be here because, like I said, I just made this card this morning. So they couldn't have traveled too far. Here they are. All right, I see a couple of you popping in that are joining us for our retreat weekend. And, you know, we do swapping. So we trade cards at these on-stage events that we attend. I'm looking for my take a pic tool. And I know I brought that over too because that is an essential part of doing this. So you guys just hold on here. It's going to show up. Well, if not, oh, it has to be here because I put those embellishments on with it. So I'm going to have to find a take a pic tool because I can't put on gems without it. But for this, I can do this. So let's do the little twirly whirl thing here. So I want it a little bit larger today. So I'm just gonna do pretty loose around all 4 fingers, go around about 4 times, 3 to 4 times, and snip it off. I like my tail things to kind of, and then I'm just gonna do the 8 thing, remember? Circle, turn it into an 8 or a lasso, and then I want I like it when my tails kind of poke out the bottom, but it doesn't matter. Every time they're a little bit different. And then if you want to, if you're worried about that not staying where you want it to stay, you can always add another glue dot. But it looks like mine is in position pretty well right now. So I'm just going to leave it just like that. I'm not going to worry about fanning it out. I'll do that after I get this all in position. So now this is going to go over the top here with some dimensionals. I'm getting really concerned about where my take a pic tool ran off to. I wonder if it fell. That's always a possibility. Okay, anyway, so we do card swapping. That's what I was talking about. I have to get my card swaps done too. So, you know, and you don't have to card swap, you know, so we trade cards. So basically, like, I could bring 8 of this card and then I'll get 8 back from, you know, the people there or however many I bring. But if I don't get them done, it's fine. Like, you don't have to do it. Oop, I'm a little off here. Let's twirl it around a little bit. But gosh, the times that I haven't swapped at an event, then I'm always so sad. So I need to make sure today, at some point, oh, look at what I'm doing. I'm just ruining my card. No, I'm not. It's going to be fine. Okay, there we go. Let's make that a little more even. See, we can fix it. Although that's a little off now. My goodness, everybody, you are seeing a show today. There. Okay, much better. There, see, you can always fix it. It's still a little bit off. Okay, now we're in place. Holy moly, was that something else? Okay, see, I got it fixed. There's always a way to fix it. And now I'll trim that down a little bit. So this one looks like I got a little bigger loop-de-loops. This one's a little smaller, but they're both pretty. So anyway, so I have got to get about 8 to 10, 12 cards done. So I have some cards to swap with my friends that are going to be there because I know they're going to bring these outstanding cards. And if I don't bring anything, then, you know, I can't really trade them. That's not very fair. So I've got to get that done today too. So I'll probably just make some more with this Eden's Garden suite since I have it out and it's new and fresh, and of course we're all loving it. Okay, so next I've got the soft succulent cardstock. Just a little scrap is fine. And I'm going to put the hello there. This is one where I'm going to trim it down to the size that I want it to be, because in this stamp set there wasn't the size that I liked for a sentiment. So I'm going to just make my own size. It's a little scrap of soft succulent. I'm going to go hello there. Now you could use any stamp set with this. You would not have to use this one. Of course, there's many other sentiment stamp sets that would work quite well. And so I've got Versamark is what I just inked that up on with whatever. And then I'm going to take my gold embossing powder, dump it over the top, tap the excess off, and then bring my heat tool. Let's hope it reaches. Can never have enough outlets in a stamp room, right? I should have like, I have some on the ceiling, believe it or not. I was smart when I put in the basement, or when we did this, and I put some on the ceiling, but I should have put another one because it's really handy when you have a middle island in your room. But anyways, this one I had to go from the across the room because all my lights and computer and stuff are plugged into the one on my island. So note to self, if you're ever designing your own craft room and you have the option, put lots of outlets. And don't hesitate to put them on the ceiling. It's not a bad idea. All right, so we're just going to heat this up. Now, if you like to, some people like to go from behind. That's just fine too. Whatever works for you. There's usually numerous ways to get to the same end goal. And my hello there we go. I don't know if you can see how magical that is when it heats up and it changes to the nice shimmer. So I have got gold embossing powder is what I'm using there. And now all I have to do is trim this down. I'm going to trim it and then snip it apart so that I have 2 lines instead of 1. And then it's real nice and petite too. So sometimes a sentiment on the block, or you know, when it's all together like that, can look kind of large. But if you start thinking outside the box, you can realize like, oh, that little, if I snip it apart, I can fit that in a few different areas. And we'll just put a dimensional on there. I am like a shortage of everything. I'm about out of cardstock, and I'm out of mini dimensionals. So for the longest time, I thought I had way too many mini dimensionals. I'm just trying to use up all my mini dimensionals. And now I don't have any. I might have a couple in my bins from last night. We had our team meeting last night. Oh, I put that here. Let's put the hello first. So we had some really fun projects. So I'll be sharing those with you probably next week. We made some really cute little Christmas 3D projects. So I'll share those with you next next week. But so if you're interested, you can get this whole bundle actually right now, plus like another, I don't know, $40 or so in products, all for $75. So they have got a special, what I call the Happy Shopper kit, our starter kit. If you'd like to take advantage of that, you can get all of this for, so I think the bundle is $82, like the whole collection where you get the paper, the embellishments, everything, is $82, but you could get it for $75 plus a whole bunch of other goodies, whatever you want to pick. Of course, you can put anything in there you want, but and free shipping. So the free shipping is really a great deal. Let me find my take a pic to finish this up. Okay, these are really pretty. I didn't have these last week to add to the projects because I hadn't gotten them in yet. But boy, I have them now and I am loving them. And it looks like right here, I don't know if you notice, right that little spot, I kind of could use a little embellishment to cover up where I had ended up with a little halo because I was a little heavy-handed in my stamping. So look at that. I just hid that away. And so I'll put a few up here and then I'll put a few down here. I'll use both of them, both different kinds. So there's two different ones here. They are so pretty. All right, and that is gonna finish off today's card. Isn't that just gorgeous? All right, everybody, so we do have Prize Patrol. So again, that Seasons of Fun stamp set is our Prize Patrol. We had the winner from last week. I'm giving another one away this week. So just participate in the video and you will be entered to win. And make sure you're on the VIP list so that you will get information when this class goes live tomorrow to register for. I think that's all I have to talk about. I will be sharing a few things with you throughout the weekend as I enjoy on stage with my fellow demonstrator friends. And if you have any questions, though, reach out to me. I will be available to chat anytime this weekend. All right, everybody, take care. Have a great week. Bye-bye.